Now, being a newer officer, did you notice it working along with the classes that were just ahead of you? Notice that you were like, oh, these guys, they answer different. They police a little different than the more seasoned guys.
Not really.
No. I was just curious because, like I said, when I was out there,
I don't think I would be able to tell.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just being a newer officer, I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, there's a difference.
Yeah.
You might.
You had too much shit on your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you would know, but
right.
I probably wouldn't.
Okay.
I would be unaware of
that
the
makes
difference.
Sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I remember, when I first started, I just kept thinking the whole time, all right, civil rights, am I violating them? Like that was my big worry. Can I keep this person here? Am I allowed to?
That's me too, because I don't ever want to do that. So
even as a social person, I try to tell people this. They're like, oh, you'd be a good cop. You're so good with people. I'm like, that's true. You probably will be a better cop, but not in the first few years. Yeah. Because the first few years, you are running through checklists in your head constantly. Like, all right, do I have a legal justification to be here? Can I detain this person? Is somebody going to pop out around the corner? What are all the things I need to worry about?
Yep.
Your brain is going so far ahead that social person that you are can't be loose, can't be its natural self anymore. So yeah, you may be able to sit there and hold a conversation, but it's not you. It's you trying to bide time while you're figuring.
It's a part of you, and the other part of you is going through all those things. And
right.
Looking behind you, what's this guy doing? Is the suspect coming back on scene? Is whatever.
Yeah. You have a hypervigilance that it's different at that beginning level versus at my level, so to speak.
When it becomes more natural.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've seen it. I mean, I feel so like in the year and couple months that I've been on, I've noticed a huge difference from how I take calls and how I hold myself, my officer presence, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I some things are natural now where I don't have to, all right, I have to think about this thing. Like I used to have a checklist in my head before every call.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, gloves on, show myself en route, show myself on scene. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have all these things, address. All right, where's north, south, east, west? If I get in a foot check, I'm going through all these things. And I even wrote it down. I had a checklist.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, I show up on scene. First things first, scene security, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then I'll detain who I need to detain, investigate, make the arrest, right? I go through like this whole thing.
Yeah.
And now I just do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't think about it.
I don't think about it. I just
you
know what to do. I have muscle memory,
And you can be yourself.
And I can be a lot more myself. And it's nice to, I mean, you could probably just even see if you go back and look at my camera footage of me talking to people, right? Like, oh, you're a lot more outgoing and you can be more of yourself because you don't have to, all right, I got to do this, Right. So, like you were saying.
Yeah. Okay. So going through your FTO through your probation, your first year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you kind of explain to people where you trained versus where you got cut loose. Try to explain the dynamics of where you're at.
So I trained in, it's probably one of the most violent areas. I think they're in the academy. They're telling us it's one of the most violent areas in our city.
Okay.
Like that pocket of where I trained, and I didn't train anywhere else. Like that's it. I only trained there. I just happened to be that way. So I got into a lot of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pursuits, foot chases, ag assaults, all that stuff. It's different with where we work now just because the amount of people, entertainment districts and stuff like that, it's just different.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to even like describe. I love where I'm working now. It's perfect for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it. I know everyone, talk to everyone. I'm great relationships with everyone down there.
Yeah.
But it is a lot different in proactivity for sure. Because in training, you don't really do a lot of proactive things. It's more of just taking calls and hey, we got to make sure you know how to take every single call and how to do the paperwork for every single call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like go out there and be proactive, and it's just a different dynamic. And
so when you first started being proactive, like when you get through your FTO phase, and you're on your own, but you're still in that probation phase.
Yep.
So for those that don't know, probation phases last certain times depending on the department. Where we're at, it's a year.
Yep. 1 year from the date of graduation.
Right. So you do 3-4 months of field training. Your last month is, they call it ghost phase.
Mine was 18 weeks total.
18 weeks total. Yeah. So your last phase of ghost phase is essentially you have an officer ride with you who's a trainer, but he's in plain clothes and he doesn't get involved unless it's like life and limb. So that's why they call it ghost. They stay uninvolved. They just want to see you operate as a cop.
Unless you had mine, who just loves talking to people anyways. So
they got involved a lot.
Yep, would just do everything for me.
Really?
Not really.
Okay.
He's I don't even know if you know him, but if you know who I'm talking about,
I don't know who it is.
I'd be like, aren't you supposed to be my ghost? And he'd be like, yeah, but he's like, you're good. I know, like, you're a good officer. Yeah. And he would like talk to people and like get information for me. And like, I mean, it was fun. Great. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're supposed to be kind of in the background, but
right.
Some of them aren't.
So as you're doing that, as you're transitioning from your FTO to your probation period, and it's day one, you're like, I'm going out to get in a car on my own. Mm-hmm. What was that like?
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I was so excited because I was looking forward to that for however long. I mean, since I applied.
Yeah.
You know, I felt a lot of freedom just to be able to like do my own thing and do what I want.
Yeah.
Take the calls I want. Be proactive. I don't know. It was a great feeling.
Yeah. So for me, my big fear was always knowing my beat, knowing my area. Mm-hmm. And I didn't, moving down here, I didn't know anything area wise. Like I had to learn. So for me, when I got cut loose here, I was like, my main priority is just to know every nook and cranny of my beat.
Yeah. My first day I did this, I looked at the map and just like studied it because I was the same way. So, I want to know everywhere and exactly where to go. If someone says this address, this, whatever. Yeah.